Welcome back to Golf Xtra. Adam Scott has been a fixture on the PGA Tour for a long time, winning 14 times on tour and even getting to the world #1 ranking for a period of time. While he hasn't been playing at the highest level in recent years, Scott is still a big enough name where he's been rumored to be a candidate to rebel against the PGA Tour and join LIV Golf. However, his recent actions show that he's on the PGA Tour to stay, and what he did will probably shock you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now, let's get right into Adam Scott and his shocking sacrifice for the PGA Tour. First, let's go back to the beginning of Adam Scott's career. He grew up in Australia and excelled in amateur golf before moving over to the United States, where he attended the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Scott turned professional in the year 2000, starting his career playing primarily on the European Tour. He eventually moved over to the PGA Tour, where he saw a pretty good amount of success in his early years. His first big win was at the 2004 Players' Championship, though he had several other successful appearances in big tournaments. However, the top level of success eluded him for some time, as he had to compete with some of the tour's best players like Tiger Woods. As Scott mentioned recently in an interview, after a few years on tour, like maybe many others if we're all being honest, my goals felt like they were going to be unattainable because Tiger Woods was so dominant at #1, and he was winning about 2 majors a year. If I'm honest, my golf in the majors wasn't even close to looking threatening, so it was an interesting first 10 years of my career. I think because I'm not sure that for whatever reason I didn't give up, but it seemed a little bit unattainable. Scott is being a little bit modest. He was quite successful even in those early years. He reached a career best ranking of #3 in the world in 2007, but eventually things hit a bit of a rough patch when he fell out of the top 50 in the world in 2009. He returned to form within a couple of years, finishing second in the 2012 Open Championship, although he lost the lead to Ernie Els in what has been regarded as a bit of a collapse. After the event, he said, "I'm very disappointed, but I played so beautifully for most of the week, I really shouldn't let this bring me down. I know I've let a really great chance slip through my fingers today, but somehow I'll look back and take the positives from it." He did take the positives from it well, ending up with a win at the 2013 Masters tournament in a clutch performance. He came from behind to win the event in a playoff and got some measure of redemption for his ordeal at the previous year's Open. Scott continued his great form for the rest of 2013 and into 2014, winning several more tournaments and eventually earning the #1 world ranking, which he held for 11 weeks. Scott has continued to play in the years since, intermittently winning, though he hasn't threatened the top of the world rankings much in recent years. He did become only the 7th player in history to earn $60 million during his career in early 2023, which puts him in elite company. Regarding the accomplishment, Scott said, "I think it speaks to probably more longevity. If I try to find positives and stuff about myself these days, longevity, I've been out here a long time, generally played at a high level, so it adds up." However, many in the golf world wondered if Scott would be satisfied with that earning potential, or if he would eventually make the move over to LIV Golf, along with other contemporaries like Sergio Garcia or fellow Australians like Cam Smith. Scott became a popular subject of these rumors, although he mostly kept quiet on the matter during the first few months of the saga. However, the rumors heated up further when Scott gave a comment on Greg Norman, another Australian who heads up LIV Golf. Instead of condemning the organization like some of his fellow PGA Tour members did, Scott said that he didn't feel any animosity towards LIV or Norman in particular, saying, "Definitely not. This is something he, Norman, truly believes in, and I don't begrudge him for going for it one bit at all. Sure, it's rocked the orders of golf, which has never really happened in this way before, but I'm optimistic that people's intentions are still good, and therefore we will come to a better place." He also offered some support for the players who had defected to LIV Golf, saying, "I completely understand anyone doing it. They've been offered an opportunity, and it suits them. All power to them. I really want it to work out for them." However, Scott gave a little bit of a different impression in comments he made in November, when he rebutted these rumors by mentioning how happy he was with the current state of the PGA Tour. "I don't know that there's ever been a better time to be a member of the PGA Tour, because all of a sudden there are these 13 elevated events that are at least double the money we've ever played for." These conflicting statements only added fuel to the fire of Scott's potential departure. That is, until he made a shocking commitment that ensured he would be on the PGA Tour for years to come. Scott joined the PGA Tour Player Advisory Council, and not only that, but he was elected as the chairman of the council. It was an interesting turn for Scott considering his previous links with LIV, but when he explained his decision, it showed how he views himself in the sport as a whole. I think seeing Rory McIlroy taking a leadership role, I feel potentially like a few other notable players, if I can call myself a notable player, can assist him moving things in the direction it seems to be. Scott also explained that he didn't want to contribute to the issues between LIV and the PGA and instead joined the Player Advisory Council because he felt that he could make an impact on the direction of the tour as a whole. I'm more interested in what the tour is planning on doing with the tour than how we're fighting a lawsuit against LIV Golf. I couldn't care less about that, to be honest. I'm more interested in what the future of the tour looks like. I convinced myself that it was worth diving into that to see what's going on. It's an important time for the tour to kind of map out the next decade and beyond, what playing the PGA Tour kind of is working towards and what that looks like. As well as everyone out here probably wants to know full schedule and beyond. But it is a critical, it's just a time of change. And yeah, big decisions are going to be made and they need to be the right ones. Even with all those positive thoughts in mind, Scott also said that he wasn't going to be just a yes man in the council meetings. I don't mind stirring the pot, if that needs to be stirred in conversation in those kinds of meeting rooms, just to let everyone think a little more. The PGA Tour has to be thrilled with the commitment from one of the tour's most visible members, and that it keeps some of their Australian presence in-house. For Scott's part, he still feels that he has all of his goals in front of him, and that the PGA Tour is the best place to accomplish those goals, saying, "This year, I'm playing the schedule I want to play. I feel like I don't have to chase anything, and I can prioritize everything I need to do to win big events and put myself in a position where I want to be a kind of fulfilling those dreams as a kid. I think my motivation now is strong as ever." We certainly wish Scott the best as he continues to play on the PGA Tour. Here's hoping that his second major victory will come his way in 2023. So, what do you think about Adam Scott and what he did for the PGA Tour? Do you think he'll be an asset to the tour as they try to fend off the challenge from LIV Golf? Be sure to leave us a comment with what you think down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can watch our latest content updates as soon as they drop. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.